So since the price of Bitcoin has broken the key line of support around 17,000, has this changed the market structure for now? No guys, even if we are going to see any sort of a shakeout on our way, we are still expecting the price of Bitcoin to show this bullish movement at least around 18 to 19,000 before it chooses a trend duration. And now let me show you the reason why. But before I jump into the content guys, please try that like button if you haven't done it yet, and for those individuals watching this the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. So before we look into this Wyckoff's accumulation schematic 2, what I want to talk about is this CPI report from November 2022, and we are going to get it tomorrow. Yes guys, December 13, we are going to get the CPI report, and we are expecting this CPI report to be better, which indicates the inflation is slowly going down. And if that happens, then parallelly we also have the FOMC meeting on December 13-14, and this CPI report might be positively affecting the decision from Fed, because we are getting 75 basis point hike this time. Maybe they might not be this hawkish, right? So we are expecting somewhere around 50 basis point hike, and if that is going to happen, then that might boost the market and boost the crypto market along with it. So that means even if the price of Bitcoin in the medium short term is going to show some shakeout until tomorrow or day after tomorrow, if we manage to remain between this 16,500 17,000 range, then we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to show some massive movement and also enter this phase E area. Because in phase T, we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to show more of range bound, even some fake outs before entering this phase E and also starting this impulsive movement. Why? Because we know, if you look at this example here on the right hand side, in phase T, there are going to be plenty of fake outs on our way before price finally breaks here like this. Price breaking out of this symmetrical triangle and entering this phase E. But in the medium short term, the indicators are not supporting this bullish movement. If you look at this MACD, this is a bearish MACD cross. RSI line has dropped below 50 level. T3CCI indicator also in a negative territory, indicating the weakness for the medium short term. But as I've been very clear, if we are going to get the positive CPI report for November 2022, that might positively affect the decision from the Fed, and we might see 50 basis point hike and not 75 basis point hike for December month, and that might boost the market. And that's exactly what we are also expecting the price of Bitcoin to do. So some range bound, some fake outs, and at the end enter this phase E, turning the price bullish, and that will also trigger this one movement which is playing out here in price action of Bitcoin. Because yesterday or day before yesterday, when we were talking about this bullishness, you can see we have failed, right? We have failed to continue this impulsiveness. But what has also the price of Bitcoin found inside this bigger bullish megaphone pattern? A descending broadening wedge type of scenario. But in the medium short term, we just found out the indicators are flashing weakness. So if we are going to see this weakness in price action, failing to find support at this lower line from this descending broadening wedge, which has acted as a support in the past price action. If you look at this here, you can see this lower line has acted as a strong line of support, and upper line acted as a strong line of resistance. So what I'm trying to show you here is that if we are going to lose the support which you have here in the medium short term around 16,900 16,800, then this lower line area is where we could be getting gravitated, and that could bring the price around 16,600 before turning bullish like this. Yes guys, after this CPI report, after this FOMC meeting, we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to favor the bullish scenario. Not just only this guys, not just only this, even if we look at this price structure here, I just showed you with the previous example, in the medium short term the price of Bitcoin might show weakness. But if we look at this as a right angle broadening wedge, we are still holding the line. The price of Bitcoin is still holding this upper line, which previously acted as a strong line of resistance. Nothing has changed so far. So if we do manage to remain around this area and price consolidates above this key line of support, then we are still expecting price of Bitcoin to show a movement here like this. First, more of a range bound, even some fake outs before getting attracted towards this 18 to 19,000 range, the upper line area from this descending broadening wedge, right, before again showing bearishness. So for this December month, we are expecting the price of Bitcoin slowly to get attracted towards 18 to 19,000, because by doing that, it would make a lot of sense. If you simply look at this example here, you can see when the price of Bitcoin was in a downtrend, in a daily time frame, we form this rising wedge. Rising wedge is considered as a bearish scenario, but if we simply add this falling trend line here to the downside, you can see this falling trend line was the area where we got attracted after we formed this rising wedge. You can see we started this downtrend, but during this downtrend we were forming another rising wedge type of scenario, and at the end, when we broke the support from this rising wedge, we got gravitated towards this falling trend line. Now this is something what I'm actually expecting the price of Bitcoin to show, a movement here like this, a very similar movement here. First some shakeout, right, but at the end price forming another rising wedge type of movement, getting attracted towards this upper line area here like this, because you can see this upper line has rejected the price couple of times in the past price action. Let me show you that here. This upper line has rejected the price couple of times in the past price action, so this is exactly where we are also expecting price of Bitcoin to approach after some shakeout on our way. So that's why, guys, that's why this is one very plausible scenario which could be playing out before again showing another corrective movement towards this lower trend line area. And why lower trend line? Because we have said in a bigger picture the market is not ready for this impulsive movement or so-called market phase. So after some bullishness, we are expecting another corrective movement to play out here like this, price getting gravitated towards this lower trend line, which could bring us between 10 to 12,000, and only after months of consolidation we are expecting an actual market phase type of scenario to play out in price action of Bitcoin. Because we know, guys, in the daily time frame the price of Bitcoin is still forming this VCPR. VCPR means the price is choosing a trend direction without touching any of the CPR line. And in most of the cases, what happens? First, we get attracted towards the CPR line, either a top, central, or the bottom line before we choose a trend direction. So that's why in the medium short term, if we are going to see any sort of a shakeout, please be careful, because this is a VCPR. VCPR usually attracts the price first before it chooses a trend direction. So that's why, guys, that's why here in the medium short term, even if we are going to see some sort of a shakeout, I'm still expecting the price of Bitcoin to show this movement towards 18 to 19,000 before it chooses a trend direction. Because you know, in a bigger frame, I mean in a weekly time frame, the price of Bitcoin might not have bottomed yet, but for the medium short term we are expecting this 19,000 move. Here is the reason why we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to show more of range bound, because this range bound means we have finally started to show this accumulation phase. And before we start a new market phase, you can see first we have to end this accumulation phase as well. And for this accumulation phase, here is one scenario from Stan Weinstein. Market might show more of range bound, right, more of range bound here like this between 10-12,000, and slowly breaking this key line of resistance, which could be again around 17,000-18,000 range. I mean, price, if we are going to see another corrective movement here to the downside, this upper line could be acting as resistance. We could consolidate around that area for months before breaking this key line of resistance, and also the resistance from this 30-week moving average. Yes, guys, this 30-week moving average is also a very important moving average for us, because to start a new market phase, price not just only has to overcome this obstacle, the upper line resistance, but also overcome the obstacle from this 30-week moving average. And by doing so, we are ready for this new market phase. So that's why, guys, that's why a relief rally towards 18,000 doesn't mean the price is going to be clearly bullish, right? That could be just a temporary movement before we again start showing this consolidation and also start this new market phase. So these are some of the quick updates that I want you to share with you in today's video. If you enjoyed my vlog, then please, guys, please destroy that like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.